This weekend commemorates what will be the end of the war in the Pacific. It's the 80th anniversary of Victory in the Pacific, known as VP Day. Australia played a huge key role in that, as did the Americans, clearly. Sky News investigative reporter Jonathan Lea, now he was given a tour of a museum that not many Australians would be aware of that exists. It's actually dedicated to documenting Australia's role in World War II and the leadership of US General Douglas MacArthur, the American who, of course, led the Southwest Pacific campaign from his desk in the heart of Brisbane.
When the fearsome 170-metre-long USS Ohio sailed into Brisbane recently, the city's skyline was visible. While it has changed, the top floor of one of its oldest office blocks near Queen Street is still trapped in time, a museum and monument dedicated to World War II and US General Douglas MacArthur.
He had a very well-developed sense of his own role in history.
Having escaped from the Philippines, General MacArthur would eventually establish his headquarters in this Brisbane boardroom.
Yes, this is the office that MacArthur occupied between July of 1942 and the 14th of October in 1944.
From here, he operated as Supreme Commander of the Southwest Pacific area. The desk, a replica, recreated with his cigar burns and ink stains.
He made some fairly scathing comments about Brisbane.
I understand he didn't like Canberra much more.
No.
What did General MacArthur dislike about Australia or Australia's fighting ability?
It wasn't just Australia, it was anything that wasn't American.
So a true American first personality.
Yes, indeed. Some have suggested probably that America second, MacArthur first.
He clashed with renowned Aussie General Thomas Blamey, shown here. Blamey said to have said,
"No, I'd rather have an Australian I know it'll fight."
Australia's then Prime Minister John Curtin had an office one level below.
I'm not sure that it was entirely accidental.
There's a replica too of the props he used to craft his own image. A self-designed hat.
He was a showman.
Ray-Bans and corncob pipe.
Only used that really when the media was around. He preferred cigars.
But that was an image taken by Churchill already.
Yes.
The map on the wall details Japan's sphere of influence.
The Japanese were looking at a short-term war,
but were dragged into one of attrition. Inside the drawer I'm shown Japanese currency, not from the homeland, but in denominations of Pacific nations they occupied or intended to.
They were sort of preparing for a longer-term operation.
There's a soldier's personal flag, signed by loved ones.
It's the flag of loyalty to the Emperor.
General Yamamoto conceived the attack on Pearl Harbor. This yoke control was cut from the plane of which he was shot down and killed over Bougainville to our north.
This is the portside one, which Yamamoto was supposed to be sitting behind when the aircraft was shot down.
This belonged to a non-commissioned officer.
The Japanese army mass-produced, in fact, swords like this one.
Tucked out of sight is another little-known artefact. Conference tables rarely come much simpler, but every day at midday, top brass would sit here, where they would hear the full picture of the enemy's activities and discuss how Allies would hold on and eventually fight back.
Winging off on a reconnaissance flight which will cover many hundreds of miles of sea.
The Red Cross flag was originally from the Australian General Hospital in Egypt. In another drawer, a cloth survival map from the US Air Force showing water currents. The keepers of this history hope more people can pay them a visit as they remember the heroism of Allies and the legacy of a commander with aspirations to lead the Republican Party, a man perhaps more Donald Trump than Donald Trump.
I think you can argue that his role after the war, creating a new Japan, was more significant than his role during the war.
It is a room of memories and messages, and lessons 80 years on we can all relearn.